For years, fans of Wheeler Dealers kept asking the same burning question. Why did E.T. China really leave the show? When he announced his departure in 2017, the news stunned many loyal viewers. The official explanation pointed to creative differences. But for longtime followers, that answer didn't feel quite right. Et and Mike Brewer shared a natural chemistry, and the show's format was thriving across the globe. So what really happened behind the scenes that caused E.T. to walk away from something he had helped build from the ground up? Years later, finally opened up, revealing that the reasons behind his departure ran deeper than fans had imagined. It wasn't about money or seeking fame. It was about values, honesty, and the very heart of the show. Wheeler Dealers began back in 2003 as a modest British car program. It featured two uniquely different but perfectly paired personalities, Mike Brewer, the energetic car buyer, and E.T. China, the calm, highly skilled mechanic. E.T. meticulously worked on the cars, explaining each step of the repair process. Together, they breathed life back into old, worn-down vehicles in a humble workshop with squeaky floors, outdated tools, and zero gimmicks. The show stood out for its authenticity. It didn't rely on manufactured drama or flashy editing tricks. Instead, it focused on the work tightening bolts, fixing engines, placing parts, and more importantly, explaining why each task mattered. Viewers weren't just watching entertainment. They were learning. That commitment to education and transparency was what made Wheeler Dealers special. In its early days, the show had a small team. Mike, E.T., a cameraman, a sound engineer, and a few producers. There were no big budgets or massive studios. But as the show gained popularity and aired in over 200 countries, changes began creeping in. Bigger audiences brought higher expectations. Networks started paying attention, and with that came more control. At first, the adjustments were subtle, tighter editing, fewer full-length repair scenes. Et's detailed walkthroughs, once the cornerstone of the show, started shrinking. As Wheeler Dealers gained a foothold in the U.S., particularly with Discovery and its Velocity channel, the focus shifted. These networks viewed the show not just as entertainment, but as a lucrative brand. Their vision emphasized fast-paced, glossy content over in-depth repairs. They believed long workshop scenes might bore viewers, preferring quicker cuts and more dramatic moments. But for E.T., this new direction clashed with everything he believed in. He valued the workshop segments most not just for the repairs, but for their educational value. He wanted viewers to learn the real mechanics, not just see a flashy before and after montage. But network pressures mounted. It resisted, refusing to cut corners or reduce the quality of his segments. Yet the studio wanted more episodes in less time, streamlined for international broadcasts. That meant eliminating the very elements that made Wheeler Dealers so beloved. The breaking point came when Discovery moved the show's production from the UK to California. The original British team, Attaboy TV, would be replaced by Discovery's in-house studio. This change represented more than just a shift in location. It was about creative control. Discovery wanted a slicker format tailored for American audiences. E.T. was told his in-depth segments were too long, too technical, and too expensive to produce. They wanted them shortened, simplified, and in essence stripped of their soul. Less education, more entertainment. Faced with this dilemma, E.T. had a choice. He could stay and follow the new direction, or he could walk away. He thought hard about it, knowing he could collect a paycheck by staying, but doing so meant compromising his principles. He described it as bodging it, a mechanic's term for cutting corners. That wasn't who he was. In March 2017, E.T. quietly posted a YouTube video announcing his departure. He didn't point fingers or complain. He simply told the truth in his usual calm, honest tone. Fans were devastated. The response was overwhelming. The video went viral within days, amassing millions of views. Thousands of fans expressed their heartbreak, confusion, and anger. Some blamed Mike Brewer, assuming he had taken the network's side. Mike, hurt by the backlash, insisted he had no control over production decisions and was saddened by Et's exit. Et even released a second message asking fans not to blame Mike, emphasizing that this was a business decision, not a personal fallout. Still, the damage was done. Their friendship, regardless of how it ended, was never quite the same. The show carried on without E.T., first with Ant Anstead, and later with Mark Elvis Priestley, both competent mechanics in their own right. But for many fans, the magic was gone. Comments on new episodes were filled with nostalgia. I miss the old days, or E.T. would have done it better. No matter how skilled the new hosts were, the absence of E.T.'s calming presence and thorough instruction was deeply felt. His legacy was in every comment section, every comparison. Every old clip replayed online. EDD remained relatively quiet about the ordeal for 8 years. Instead, he poured his energy into new ventures, most notably Workshop Diaries on YouTube. In this series, E.T. returned to what he loved, working on cars with care and precision, taking the time to explain each repair in depth. There were no flashy edits or big teams, just a camera, some tools, and his signature teaching style. The show didn't pull in massive ratings, but it didn't need to. It was pure China. Fans loved it. In a recent podcast, E.T. finally spoke openly about the emotional toll his departure took. He admitted he hadn't wanted to leave, but he despised the person he was becoming on the show. Someone forced to cut corners and rush through jobs just to meet deadlines. It made him feel like he was cheating both the viewers and himself. That's when he knew he had to walk away, not out of spite, but to protect what mattered most, the show's integrity. His full explanation confirmed what many fans had long suspected. It wasn't about money or drama. It was about honoring the original spirit of Wheeler Dealer's hard work, hands-on education, and genuine repairs. For E.T., trimming those segments meant cutting out the very soul of the show. Walking away from such a global success wasn't easy, but it was necessary to uphold his principles. After leaving the show, E.T. didn't fade into obscurity. He continued fixing cars, developing inventions, and creating content for an audience that still cared about learning. Workshop Diaries became a place where he could take his time and do things right. Whether restoring classic Land Rovers or exploring electric vehicle technology, it showed every detail, every struggle, and every solution. He didn't skip the tough parts because that's where real understanding happens, beyond the screen. It became a symbol in the car community. Young mechanics and DIY enthusiasts often cite him as an inspiration. His influence is seen in countless online repair forums, video tutorials, and how-to blogs. He inspired many to pick up a wrench and believe they could do it too. That's a legacy no network can erase. More than just a mechanic, E.T. China became a quiet role model. His story isn't just about cars, it's about staying true to yourself in an industry that often rewards shortcuts. He could have lashed out, criticized the network, or thrown others under the bus. But he didn't. He left with grace, professionalism, and dignity. And fans notice Wheeler Dealers continues with new hosts and modern visuals, but for many, the original essence has been lost. The show might be flashier now, but it lacks Et's calm explanations and careful methods. That absence is still felt. Old episodes with Et continue to draw millions of views. His name still trends in comment sections. His new videos might be low-key, but they're watched and appreciated by those seeking something real in a fast-paced digital world. China proved that there's still value in doing things slowly and properly. Some fans say watching him is like therapy, a peaceful retreat from noisy, overproduced content. In a way, Ite has restored his own career just like he restored cars, patiently, thoughtfully, and with pride. Even today, new fans discover his work, get curious about his story, and walk away with admiration. Because this story isn't just about a man who fixed cars on TV, it's about integrity, growth, and standing firm when everything around you pushes you to change. China didn't just leave a show, he left a legacy. He did it without ever losing what made him special in the first place.